Welcome to another exciting episode of By the Railside podcast. With me today, I have Jordan and Jeffrey
Achoo!
and myself, Zach. Don't forget to follow us on Silly Socials. Um, I think I'm going to post something this week, possibly. Also,
Fucking lie to me.
yeah, I'm probably not going to post anything. It's a lot of work, you know, and I already do a lot of work. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/bytherailside, where we record this live. Uh, so you
In
can,
front of a studio audience?
yeah,
Like
there it is.
for laughing.
That's our laugh. It's our laugh track. Do it again. Yeah, didn't even have to say anything funny.
It's like the Big Bang Theory.
Have you ever watched the videos where they take out the laugh track and they just like sit around staring at each other awkwardly?
Yeah, it's haunting. Like that would be anyone with social anxiety's worst nightmare.
Just bombing on stage. Just oof.
Just awkward pauses every 5 seconds. That's why they should just have a button on their phone. Now it's not awkward.
Like your meme soundboard.
Yeah. Where is it?
One of the things that didn't need a laugh track was the movie we just watched and are preparing to review, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. Next week we'll do the second one, but we'll start with the first one.
What a story, Marv.
And to tell us all about the wonderful Guardians of the Galaxy and what's gonna happen in the movie is Jordan.
And today we're throwing it over to Ahmet Kozan. After discovering a mysterious orb in another part of the galaxy, Peter Quill from Earth is now the main target of a manhunt led by the genocidal villain Ronan the Accuser. Being hunted across the galaxy, Quill gets lumped together with a group of misfits that need to learn how to get along before they can become the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'd say that's fair. There's a reference to the Soviets in this movie. We'll get to that a little bit later.
I know that one.
One of the few he gets. We should be proud, just like the Soviets
Hell
are.
yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, what are we thinking? What do you think Jeff rated this one, Jeff? Jeff, Jordan.
Jeff, what do you think Jordan rated this one?
I think Jordan gave this one a 8.5. I think Jordan appreciated the amount of humor in it. The action was okay. There was no overly awkward slowdowns or anything in it. I think Jordan really liked it.
That's true. I also think that Jordan really liked it. 8.5 is pretty good. I'd almost go possibly a 9 for him, just because the humor, the aesthetics of the characters themselves, um, and yeah, the action was good. The story was good. A nice intro into the cosmic side of the MCU, and hopefully it just gets better from there. Jordan, what do you think Jordan rated it?
I think we'll have to save my thoughts on what Jordan rated it until the end.
Good call. We botched that fucking thing. Good job, Zach.
I think-
you idiot.
I think we nailed it.
Yeah, I
Actually,
thought like I transitioned well into your fuck up. I covered for that.
that's good. I'm pointing it out even more. Rewind it, everyone. Have you
No,
Oh, we're
rewound it?
live.
No, but later.
I'm going to jail!
Don't go to jail. This works very well as a trio. If you go to jail, we all have to.
We're doing it live from in the prison.
What would you guys go to jail for?
Murder.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah, that's I should have guessed that.
It's the quickest and like it's got like the highest guarantee.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, you could like yeah, I committed tax fraud, commit me to jail, give me my sentence, or you could be like, I stabbed this guy in the face 74 times. I played.
That kills people, Carl.
I was hungry for hands.
Good old llamas with hats. Hey, you know who else went to jail? The Guardians of the Galaxy. It started out with a little bit of a sad note. Peter Quill losing his mom and getting abducted by a UFO, which we later find out is Yondu, which in the later movie we find out is Peter Quill's father.
Yondu is his dad?
Yeah, Yondu is daddy.
I didn't know that. I thought his dad was like a planet or something.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Don't spoil it, Jeff. Jesus.
You just said that. So you're just lying?
No.
Is Yondu a planet?
No.
No,
That's stupid.
He's got the heart the size of a planet.
Yeah.
I'm so
Medical
confused
condition.
now.
Don't worry. Next week you'll find out.
Who's Peter's real dad?
What is this?
Maury!
Space Maury.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna ask.
Did it have to do with his daddy issues? Or his mommy issues? He's got a
No,
lot.
sorry. Timeline wise, where does this fit in? Because like Thanos is still chilling on the rock, and that dude also that got his head spun around was like in charge of talking to Loki, right?
Yeah.
So was this is obviously before Avengers?
No, this is after Avengers. Because they're still planning on getting the Infinity Stones, and they were supposed to conquer Earth, or with the help of an Infinity Stone, but Thanos never told them that. No, Thanos wanted the Tesseract, and Loki was tasked to get the Tesseract back to them. That's why they opened up all the portals and shit.
Oh, okay.
So because it failed, now he's also getting Ronan to get him the orb, so then he'd have the Power Stone and be even more jacked. But then Ronan betrayed him.
Rodent.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously, because if he's a rodent, he's like, well, I want that pizza.
That's my cheese.
He accused Thanos. That's why they call him the Accuser. Also, what's...
Just walk around, j'accuse. Fuck off, Ronan. What do you want? This is McDonald's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
But yes, it starts out and Star-Lord actually gets the orb, which seems pretty... his tools are pretty fancy. Can get into old dusty places. Can just yoink the orb out of plasma barriers.
He used a hypergravity enhancer. Come on!
Jeff went and did the science on this one.
Well, I mean, he used the same tool to, like, fucking suck those guys into, like, a little pile, right, when he was escaping, so that's what I imagined. It was either that or it was some weird magnet that was, like, attracted to their armor, but then he should have been pulled into, so I just assume it's some weird gravity thing.
Directional gravity. He supplied anti-gravity so that he didn't get sucked in.
I think the waves were just like didn't go through the people, and there was a guy who just clearly stepped on to get over it.
Yeah.
I had an issue with the rating of this movie because like later on when they're the misfits are fighting in Ronan's ship, Groot just like kills a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
Like straight up just spears them through the gut and then like mangles their corpses through a hallway.
That
This is PG-13, but I guess since it's space violence,
no, it's because
it's
there's no
fine.
blood. That's the key.
because they had grates on the floor.
Yeah, there should have been blood all over Groot.
I sucked it up, get that iron, make his body harder. That's how he gets gains. He just drinks iron.
Groot gains.
He's gonna need a lot of gains now.
But he can. Oh, yeah, well, now, but not later. Because next week you'll find out.
What do you think of the effects of Groot and Rocket?
I thought Rocket looked pretty good. Groot looked a little like they were two completely opposites. Groot either looked like dull, not dull's the wrong word, but like matte compared to shiny, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Rocket looked weirdly shiny at times, but it wasn't like enough to really distract me. And then Groot was like the exact opposite. And I thought Groot looked better.
That's just the great sheen on his. It shows that he's healthy.
Yeah, Head and Shoulders.
Hell yeah.
That's what Rocket
It's
uses.
space head and space shoulders.
Yeah.
Only when he's in space, but when he's on a planet, that's just regular Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, I think Groot actually like he looked very close to what you would think a tree being would be. Where they didn't need to make him like that poppingness, but more like an earthy tone to him. And then Rocket was just good, and I liked the voice actors.
Now, does anyone know why they decided to just spend the extra money and have Vin Diesel be the stand-in, even though there's no reason for that?
What do you mean the stand-in?
Like as Groot, like if you didn't know it, you wouldn't be able to tell that that was Vin Diesel, right? So like, there's so much effects and all that kind of stuff, even with his voice and whatnot. Like, how come they decided to spend the extra money instead of just having like Joe Blow the Eighth do it?
Well, I mean, I figured he'd probably get paid the same regardless.
I don't know. Like, if you get like a lesser name actor, you don't have to pay them anywhere near as much as if you hire Vin Diesel for it, right?
Yeah, but I think it would seem kind of out of place, like with the lineup of the main actors. So if you're like a bunch of A-listers and then Kathy Griffin as Groot,
To be fair, I have no idea who the Rocket voice actor was. So
Bradley
oh,
Cooper.
fuck. Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
What-
He was in The Hangover.
Limitless.
okay, so he's an A-lister too. Okay.
Yeah, he's fairly big. And it might like I don't know. I'll look it up now, but I think it might have just been a choice from Vin Diesel. Just he might be like that kind of actor. He might have offered to do that or wanted to do that. Just to
Yeah,
make his
because
performance.
he's pretty nerdy too, right?
Yeah, that and like other than that, he would have been similar to Rocket, which he like just sits in a studio instead of actually doing anything. I don't think Bradley Cooper was like sitting there in a fucking mocap suit, like acting like a raccoon.
No, it was James Gunn's brother did that one. He was the little mocap guy for Rocket. But I don't know. Vin Diesel's voice definitely he's got a voice that fit the character really well, and also he went in depth for Groot. Like when he was you would talk to James Gunn and be like, "What do you think Groot was going through in this scene?" and tried to emulate as much emotion as you can into 3 words in order to fulfill the role better. Like he was right into it, even though it was just a voice. He was big time into it.
Do you like Groot's character development at the end?
Yeah, we are Groot.
Yeah, instead of I am Groot, it's we are Groot. Oh my goodness.
Which I don't know if that's even possible. I guess maybe like it's just changing a letter or no, changing a word. Sorry, but I feel like I don't know. I haven't read the actual comic, but I'm pretty sure his entire species just says "I am Groot."
Yeah, he actually in the comics he was like the destroyer on Earth. Like he fucked shit up real bad.
That's what his whole species is like. Like they're a bunch of fucking assholes, and he's basically like a small pariah in the fact that he doesn't want to kill certain things. Like kids, like, yeah, here's a flower, but if you're a full-grown adult, be like, yeah, here's my fist through your gut.
Yeah. Although him killing a bunch of dudes was pretty similar to Yondu and his little arrow thing.
Yeah, he killed like fucking 20 people too. People fucking get murked all the time in Marvel movies. Like in the other ones, they just use guns, right? So,
Yeah. And also when Captain America boot fucks them into the side of a boat.
or into the fucking propeller of a plane.
Yep. They actually kill quite a lot, which is the odd thing because you're supposed to see like a hero just they don't kill, or maybe that's just Batman.
That's just Batman. I saw a thread on that. That's like, what do you think would happen if Joker went to the MCU? And everyone was just like, he'd fucking die. Iron Man would just fucking blow him to bits. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I looked it up, and I don't think that Vin Diesel did the mocap stuff for Groot.
Didn't he wear like the fucking stilts and all that shit?
Yeah, but that was just him wearing stilts. I don't think he actually did it. He might have done the mocap. I think he wanted to do the mocap for the second one, but he didn't do it for the first one. Apparently, he was cast fairly late in the process, so maybe he just wore the stilts to like get into character.
Yeah. Just stilting around in the studio.
Scream, "I am Groot" at the top of your lungs at the ceiling. There was a
Groot
guy,
is OP in this movie. There's nothing he can't do.
fucking survive at the end.
Yeah.
He did survive at the end, though.
No, that's a different
Diesel?
Groot.
No, it's the same Groot, just baby.
If I take a clipping off a plant and plant that one, is that a different plant or the same one?
Same one.
But it's in a different pot. It's different.
It's a clone. It's the same one.
Oh, why don't humans work like that?
We've never tried to clone humans.
Thank God.
Jeff, I need you to cut off your finger and try and grow a U.
Unlucky. I don't think anyone wants that.
Just put it with that mushroom.
It doesn't want that. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
but here's the thing: you can be like, "Well, you're technically only like 6 days old, so I have seniority. So you're gonna take over from here, and I'm gonna go unalive my shit."
The old Jeff Shroom.
And once you perfect it, I mean, really, you just have to stay alive to grow the next one.
Or yeah, just write it down. Teach them. Which that baby Groot at the what?
Never mind. I was gonna say you teach me football.
No. It's a different movie.
I know.
Little baby Groot at the end, the little mini credit scene when he's dancing along. That and poor Drax just trying to catch him because nothing goes over Drax's head. He would catch it. His reflexes are
too fast.
I love all the characters. They're all great characters and just comedic to a T. And it's like that, just like that dysfunctional family. It just works somehow.
It's like the Suicide Squad.
Yes, well,
The original one.
most of the heroes and everything are based off of each other. And once one person comes out with something, then the other comics have to do it too. But yeah, the first Suicide Squad was ass. Then the second one, which was coincidentally directed by James Gunn, who also did these two also did the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is probably why it's good. But
is it good?
Yeah, the new Suicide Squad is like it's not like it's better than the actual one, and it's actually really enjoyable story too. Whereas the other one was like 5 or 6. This one I'd say is like 7 to 8.
Shit.
Better
It's
characters.
as good as Thor Dark World then, because that's what you gave Thor Dark World.
I gave Thor Dark World 6.5.
Didn't you give it a 7?
No, I would not have given that one a 7.
You shut your mouth.
I could have swore you gave it a 7.
I'm
You're gonna have to go back and watch the VOD.
No, I write all my ratings down.
I refuse to interact with that movie in any form again.
I back to what you said a long time ago about Quinn's gadgets. Uh, I made a note to like write down some things I liked in this movie because, yeah, reasons. And Quinn's mostly the like light orb thing was like I really enjoyed that for some reason. Just like some little artifact that seems innocuous and just kind of like helps you do whatever, but then is also just like a bomb in fucking emergency situations. I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's I definitely like the space aspect of the of being in the MCU because they have so much stuff, and the interaction later on when you get to Endgame between Rocket and Tony Stark is fantastic.
I don't remember that the slightest.
That's okay. We'll get to it.
I'm lucky.
That's very lucky. That's a great movie.
Allegedly.
But Rocket is a genius. The fact that he's escaped 23 prisons now is unbelievable for a raccoon.
He's not a raccoon. He doesn't even know what a raccoon is.
Like he says, he doesn't know what a raccoon is, but like towards the end of the movie, he talks about his species having a short life cycle.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you are? Why do you know your life cycle? Why are you this aware? Also, how did they know who Jackson Pollock was?
He's known galaxy wide for I don't know, jizzing on paintings. I don't know what he did.
Flicking paint at a canvas.
That's all he did.
It represents the chaos of my mind. Are you kidding me?
I don't actually. I know the reference, and I think I've seen a couple pictures, but I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I don't get art. To me, it's just things, and the fact that there's like, what was it? That thing that there was a banana duct taped to a wall. Like, what the fuck? Why is that art?
Yeah, I don't understand why Jackson Pollock was famous. Like, well, do you remember the accountant?
Yeah.
The splotch painting.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Jackson Pollock. That's like he's famous for that.
Fuck, I could do that.
Yeah, but now it wouldn't be original and no one would like it.
Yeah, but here's the difference though. I'm gonna get a catheter and put it in my urethra and piss the painting.
Does this make the painting better?
Yes, because it shows what's going on inside of me because the paint was inside of me. It shows my inner struggle to piss out all this lead-based paint.
Why are you using lead based?
It's cheaper and it tastes better.
Just great chips, you know? All right, Jeff. The big question is, did you notice the music?
I mean, I noticed it, but it really didn't have the impact that I was expecting. Like you were going on about how like it like mattered in this movie. The concept of the music mattered in this movie, but not the music itself. So to me, it just ended up being random '80s music, and I was just like, okay, that's fine. I understand the purpose behind it, but it didn't like do anything. The only time the music actually went with anything was that like first little scene where he was like dance kicking the fucking goobies.
No, there's a few other scenes that where it sort of still fit. The Dance Off Save the Universe, that song sort of fit. There was when he got the second tape, the lyrics in that to that sort of fit the scene and was designed to fit the scene as well. It was more just the actual song choices are supposed they went along with the scenes a lot better, like the lyrics wise and stuff like that, to make you more emotionally involved in the movie. What did you think of the music, Jordan?
I thought the music choices were good. I really enjoyed the songs. Sorry, I was throwing up. Won't stop. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, so the music was really good. I think the way that they edited it in was really good. I liked some of the transitions that they had used. There was a lot or a couple points where it lined up. Like the most obvious was um, the very first one, the intro there. Anywhere else, it's not as obvious, but they did a decent job of like aligning some of the things that happened in the movie. They timed it very well with what was going on in the beat in the song. I don't think I took any specific notes about music.
Yeah, I didn't add like any specific notes, but it's just more just once the um, I paid attention more so to the songs and the lyrics and stuff like that, and the chosen verses that they had for each scene. That the music was actually more superimposed and present, just to just to see why the songs are chosen for each one. Um, and definitely some scenes it showed that they fit very well with the scene and to sort of pull you further in. So that Stan Lee cameo of him just being a fucking playboy, just almost like a throwback to what it was, Iron Man 1, where he went to that party and Stan Lee played Hugh Hefner. Even in space, he's a pimp.
He pulls, man. He's got money. Automatic pull.
Money trumps everything.
How do you guys feel they are doing more with the animations of the cities and stuff like that? Do you find them a little bit more realistic as the movies go on, or you still seeing like that like it's more computer generated?
Oh well, I mean, with a super space one like this, you can tell it's computer generated, right? Because the architecture is just completely different and whatnot. And it's hard for me to get away from that kind of stuff. Like just the curvature of the glass and whatnot, just to me, just screams computer generated. Which there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, it's space. You're trying to be science fictiony and whatnot. But it definitely looked better than the first Thor movie. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the increase in popularity and therefore the increase in budget is definitely showing, especially in this one. The only gripe I had, and I don't even know if it was like just an intentional choice that they did or not, or maybe they just fucked up. The only issue I had with the effects was when they got arrested and they were going through like their profiles and showing them in lockup and everything like that. Peter's like DNA information was it looked like it was in slow mo, where everyone else's was like it was timed well, so they didn't have to speed it up or slow it down. Like it just looked natural. But yeah, I thought the other than that, the effects were fantastically done. I didn't see anything that stood out to me as like terrible. But I think this so far this one has had the best effects. There's been nothing that I've been like, oh, that's kind of cheesy or like that's kind of shit. Like even the curved glass that you were talking about, Jeff, I enjoyed it because um, even though it's like you could tell it was edited, but it showed like the reflections of everything on the outside, which I thought was a nice little thing because most people would just be like, oh no, we'll just make the glass. Oh no, it's invisible, so you can just see right through it, so it's fine. But if the camera shot was from the outside, it still it would show like the reflection of everything that would reflect off of the glass.
Yeah, I had no problem with the quality of the animation. It was just the style, right, that gives away that it's computer generated as well. Which again, I mean, in a space movie that happens. You can't really get away from that.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed the ships. Like all of the ships are uniquely designed. I thought that was really well. I especially like Peter's, just because I don't know if they took the engine sound from like an old car, but it reminded me. It gave me like nostalgic vibes of like going to a car meet.
I really like the Kree mothership. I wrote that down. The like semi twist. It's not practical in the slightest, but the like semi twisted nature of it and all that kind of stuff. That kind of architecture and style is really cool.
It's modular.
Yeah, almost.
Unscrew half your ship and then put it on top.
Yeah, although it did show like that was their style in Captain Marvel, because that's where you see that's in the chronological view. That's where you first see Ronan the Accuser. He's a
Mhm.
little different, I think, comparatively. It's almost like um, it's almost like because they did the Guardians one first, but it seems that the way they balanced it was more like Ronan now is just going out and murking planets, whereas in Captain Marvel, like there was a purpose to destroying the planets. So it that kind of left out a little gap or created a little gap because you're just like, okay, why? Or like Ronan's just pissed because they signed a peace treaty with Xandar. Like, why is he so fucking mad at Xandar that he wants to destroy the planet? Um,
Because they like enslaved or killed or whatever his father, his great grandfather, and whatever he said that a couple times.
would they really do that? I'm pretty sure the Kree are more powerful than Xandar and Xandarians.
It could be, I don't know, but that's what he was always going on about, right? About the injustices against his father and his father's father and all that kind of stuff. And that was the reason he was doing it. He says one peace treaty doesn't make up for 1,000 years of war and injustice.
That's true. Although I feel like maybe with context from Miss Marvel, it might be sort of like a Hitler situation where like they definitely think they're in the right, but everyone else is like, yeah, those guys are bad guys. They're pieces of shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the fucking Marvel movie, or in Captain Marvel, I should say, um, he was like just straight up lying to his people, right? Saying that the people they were killing was like infiltrating to take over the planet and whatnot, when really they were just trying to get away from them.
Well, that was the whole Kree culture. Like they just wanted to exterminate the Skrull, and
But that like a lot of it was lies, right? Saying that they were infiltrators and that they were going to take over the planet from within and all that kind of stuff, when they were just trying to escape and save their people that had been like put on Earth for whatever reason to like hide from them.
Yeah, they were escaping Kree rule. So
Hmm.
I'm assuming that might be like what happened with Xandar, but Xandar was like uh, either as advanced or more advanced than them. So they were just like, nah, we're gonna just blast you guys away, and they couldn't win in 1,000 years, so they're just salty about it. Like, just give me the top.
yeah. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see with Guardians 3 because um, a little bit of spoilers here if you want to stop listening.
La
In
la la.
Infinity War, it says that Thanos gets the Power Stone because that's the Infinity Stone in this one. He gets the Power Stone after he decimates Xandar, like he destroys Xandar to get it, or calls it of half like he normally does. Um, and then that is supposed to spawn uh, the hero Nova, which is like the top of the Nova Corps. I think he's like a combination uh, and is just super powered. And I think he's going to be in Guardians as well as in Guardians 3, as well as Adam Warlock is supposed to be in it as well, because you see that after the second one in the post credit scenes. Who's also apparently a badass and is designed, but he is. I think in the comics he actually wields the other Infinity Gauntlet, so the right hand. Yeah, because Thanos has the left hand.
Who made those?
Oh, you find.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, find that.
Oh, it was the dwarf. Okay.
Yeah, the dwarf who is a giant.
I don't
The
know if they're gonna do the yeah. I don't know if they're gonna do like the right hand left hand gauntlet thing because of the way they did the gauntlet story in this one.
Yeah, I don't think they are. Just that's what he was in the comic books. So I'm interested to see what his purpose is going to be in the Guardians 3. Apparently, in Guardians 3, Nebula and Mantis have uh, pretty impactful um, impactfulness in the movie.
was Mantis.
Find that out in the
next
next
week.
one.
Shit!
It's actually probably a real shit character, but she's hilarious.
Oh, it's that bitch.
Yeah.
Did you just Google it?
No, I remember. I've seen that one. The beginning of it, the fucking like mind reader that just like tells someone that they want to fuck them or something.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happened there with fucking Gamora and Star Lord?
Yeah, it's more
Yes.
complex than that, but whatever.
It's romantic love.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's not fucking. It's making love. There's a difference.
Pelvic sorcery.
Yeah, pelvic sorcery. Also, warriors do dance. That's their whole fighting stance is
Like,
basically just dancing.
You ever heard of the Maori fucking culture? They dance and tell their enemies how they're gonna eat them and stuff.
I mean, she has probably never heard of that, and he got abducted in the 80s before the internet, so he also probably has never heard of that.
Oh, of course. Okay, so Jackson Pollock is well known across the universe, but no one's ever heard of a fucking Maori.
Well,
warrior.
just because she like said about him being a creep or whatever doesn't mean she understood the Jackson Pollock reference. Just maybe she just knows about the whole like black light and sperm thing and just got the gist of it from there and didn't really understand the Jackson Pollock thing.
Well, she wasn't there for that joke. It was just Rocket and Groot.
Did she say something about Jackson Pollock later then?
Nope. No, Jackson Pollock was mentioned by Quill after she left, and after calling him disgusting, and went up to the main part of the ship, and then he pointed out that if she thinks that's gross, take a blacklight to this. Looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. And then Rocket's like, "You got problems, Quill."
Okay. So yeah, it's the same thing then. Maybe Rocket didn't understand who Jackson Pollock was, but understood the blacklight reference, right? And Quill might for some reason know who Jackson Pollock was because I mean the guy was alive in like the 50s or whatever, right?
Yeah, but he was still just a kid. I don't think he learned that in grade 5.
Was he in grade 5? Oh yeah,
I don't know.
grade 4. I don't know. He was 8.
Yeah.
3.
Holy
No, he
shit.
was 8.
No, that's grade 3 is what I meant. Sorry.
Definitely did a lot for a little bit of character development. I kind of like that how all of them are just a bunch of me's. Just like they've got all these like family problems or like these bad things happen to them, but they all just express it with anger. It's awesome. Or humor, which is also so Quill normally did it with humor or just sort of avoided it like that. Drax with his anger, Rocket with his anger. I'm sure Groot was angry at some point. Oh yeah, when he killed those guys.
Yeah, that definitely came from a place of anger.
Nah. He was having a good time.
And then Gamora with her daddy issues.
Oh my
He's
god,
not her father.
Are you admitting to having daddy issues live?
No. Probably more like Quill. Probably got mommy issues.
He's got daddy issues too, but his mommy issues are stronger at that point.
Yeah, daddy
So
issues
he
come
was.
in the second movie.
So they finally reads the letter that he somehow kept a hold of.
Dude, it's impressive that the letter survived his ship like blowing up.
Yeah, and the gift and everything.
Yeah.
Lost version 1, but number 2 survived. It's okay.
Yeah.
Not just one crash either, because Rocket was just like, "Don't hurt my friends, fuck your ship," and then crashed the ship, Peter's ship, into the big ship, and then there was a secondary crash when the big ship fell.
Yeah.
But goddamn, did that present survive? What is that paper? Oh, the paper's probably made of lead paint.
Made out of lead paint.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The paper.
I don't see any problem with that at
You
all.
take lead paint, you put it on like a baking tray, put it out in the sun, let it just harden, and then you use that as the wrapping paper.
Mold it up.
Stays looking fresh, and as soon as you try and take it off, you don't have to rip it off. It just sort of crumbles and peels and gets absorbed by your skin, and you get a real nice. Feels good.
Chemical burn.
No, it's high.
Can you get high off lead?
I don't know. I tried
Or
smoking
just
asbestos
die off
once when I
lead?
went to the hospital.
What else? Oh, the different places they went. The collector's place I really liked. Seeing all those little things. Saw the dark elf was there. A Chitari was there.
A
Um,
Russian cosmonaut dog.
yep, that's his name was Cosmo. Later,
Howard the Duck.
yeah, in the post credit scene, Howard the Duck.
Yeah. That was random as hell.
Um, but yeah, it just showed how, and it said that he was Tavon, so Tavon's a collector, but the Tavon clan came and took over that head. So he pretty much, that's his whole criminal organization is right there, and he just likes collecting shit. Which, as a character, he was cool, and I liked when the Infinity Stone finally came out of the orb. He did that little like handshake thing, and then the Rocket mocked him for it. They're like, "Hey, let's get to the money."
Rocket's just a homophobe.
Rocket's just a phobe. No matter what it is, he hates it. Is it different and not Groot? Yeah.
If I can't shoot it, I don't want it.
The only type of people he likes are people with prosthetics, and the only reason he likes them is because he likes stealing it.
Yeah, I like how I think when he said I need that guy's leg, there was like a slight. I'm pretty sure I noticed like a slight either trying to hold in a laugh or like to try and pull off that he was serious, almost like hiding a smile while you're talking, which was good. And then once he actually got the leg, he was just like, "Was he hopping around? Please tell me."
Yeah, he definitely. I actually made a note of that. He definitely was stifling a laugh when he was like talking about the plan. He's saying he needed the leg, and I don't know if that was just like a creative choice or Bradley Cooper just fucked up and started breaking.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed in the movie that was just a complete break was Kraglin in the shop when Yondu was just going like obili bobili.
Yeah.
When he started laughing, I don't think that was scripted.
Yeah. I want to know if the whole thing was like that, or he just decided as a choice, or if it was Yondu's actually supposed to do that in the script. He's just like, hey, well, this guy's talking, just fuck with him.
Yeah, that was the whole like sentence in the script was just annoy him.
Yeah. But yeah, Kraglin as a character, I think it's going to be cool once he gets a little bit further on. I think he'll have a bigger role in Guardians 3. In Guardians 2, he's got a little bit more. Same with Yondu. But the introduction of there's actually so many characters in this one, but the introduction of those ones plus the Guardians was all fantastic, and I don't think they overdid it, or like you get like side characters and it's almost like they either focus on them too much or not enough, so you don't have time to actually build some sort of either curiosity or caring about the character. I think they did really well in this one for that.
Yeah, the progression of characters was pretty good in this movie. I think they kind of rushed Drax a little bit, but that's just because he came in like a third of the way through the movie, so they had to like quick backstory, and then we'll get more in the next one on that one. But everything else I thought was done very well. There wasn't a whole lot of like the romantic subplot that I enjoyed. Like there was the moment between Gamora and Peter, and of course whenever Quill was talking about his fucking man whore past. But I think that was more. It wasn't like Peter's like, oh, I think I'm falling in love with you. It was more just like, never fucked a green chick.
Yeah. And then as it goes on, it's more just not not full development, but you can definitely find that there's like a tension there. Um, but that's going to happen when you spend more and more time as they do, especially when you're in space.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to. You can't always use the jump gates. Sometimes you got to fly, and then, yeah, that's just there's dead air. What are you gonna talk about? So how's your dad? Oh fuck, he's not your dad.
Oh,
And then she goes, oh, how's your dad? Oh fuck, you don't know your dad.
I
And
would
then they do the boogie woogie, so it's not as awkward.
I would like some of those body mods that they've got. She was pretty juiced, and just being able to fly in space with a cool mask, that just seemed interesting. Although I don't know how it showed more in when he left the little pod thing to go and save Gamora. It showed that a little bit more on his hands, that his hands were actually feeling it. But when he was flying out of the kiln, um, it seemed a little odd that the mask made him okay and safe, but his hands definitely should have been frozen right off.
Yeah,
He's got gloves.
just regular ass suit's fine for space. It's not a big deal.
It's a Ravager suit. It's special made. It's red.
Now they all have Ravager suits. Well, kind of. Drax has Ravager pants.
Yeah.
He had the option, and he chose right.
Yeah, you'll we learn about why he doesn't like shirts in the second one.
Oh, there's actually a reason? I thought he was just like, I am muscle.
Oh, yeah.
Therefore, shirt.
Well, it's not like all shirts, but the one that Rocket makes. But yeah, it gives a reason, which it just adds on to the comedic value of that character. I love how literal he is. It kills me. Just why would I put my finger to his throat?
Yeah.
No, and then he's just like, no, it's a symbol for killing. You know, right? And the guy's like, yeah. Drax looks at him. No, I don't.
I got no idea what this guy's on. Don't kill me.
Yeah. It's like, I like this knife. I'm keeping it too. And he's like, that was my favorite knife.
That guy's dead now.
Unlucky.
Unless he joined up with Ronan. I feel like if he broke into the prison, I'd just be like, yeah, here's everything I know. Can I like come with you guys? I'm good at stabbing stuff. Watch this, and then I'd stab 3 people.
Yeah. Did you pick up on it, Jordan, when they were explaining the plan and Kraglin said what kind of soldiers that were all in the ship, and then Drax is like, I love killing those guys. Did you notice what soldiers he said were there?
No.
He said Sakurin.
That's the faceless guys, right?
I
That's wait, Sakarin.
yeah,
No way.
yeah.
How do they have soldiers?
Apparently,
Oh, maybe it was just like from the Colosseum. Because I don't want to give too much away, but maybe it's from the Colosseum.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Cause yeah, when he said that, I was like, wait, hold on a second. That's a little bit of reference.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, circle that, Jeff. It'll we're wrapping around in some more movies. I can't count that quick.
They're really ramping it up in like references to other movies, like later this late in the series.
Yeah, not even just past movies, but like setting up little nods to future movies and stuff like that.
All right, I have a question then.
Uh-oh.
Who is Lilla? Is that a
What?
character that comes in at some point?
I'm not sure. Where's
Okay,
it?
what about Tiberius or Tiberius Lark? I think it's Tiberius. You gonna do who that is? These must be comic references if you guys don't know who they are then. Because I paused it during the like not interrogation, but when they're just like going through each of the prisoners and giving their like little backstories basically. When they got arrested, and it said known affiliates for each of them, and the Quinn's was the whistle guy and Kraglin. I didn't know who Kraglin was, so I wrote his name down, but I found out later. I think it was Gamora's. One of her people was Lilla, and I think Rocket's was Tibius Lark. Maybe Tibius is who made Rocket? I don't really know.
It's Groot.
Oh, Groot is
Yeah,
Tibius Lark?
No. One of Groot's associates was Tibius Lark.
Oh, it was Groot? Okay.
Yeah, and it's James Gunn revealed. What is this? James Gunn revealed Tibius was part of Groot's origin story, but had not been introduced yet.
So maybe you'll find out about that in number 3, or maybe it's just is that a comic book thing? So it's just like a shout out to the people who know the comics, or is that like an OC kind of thing that just hasn't been explained or kind of got cut or whatever?
I think it's more for like comic book references, like little Easter eggs here and there that they sort of sprinkle in throughout.
Yeah. Is there anything on the Lilla? It was spelled like Lylla.
Which one was that from?
It was either Gamora or Rocket then, if that one was Groot. I didn't write down the person who it was linked to. I just wrote down the names I didn't recognize.
Lila was a former associate of Rocket Raccoon. So Rocket. For some time, Lila worked alongside Rocket. However, they parted ways, and Rocket started to work with Groot. In the comics, Lila is an otter from the same planet as Rocket Raccoon, and is his love interest.
Oh.
He be fucking otters. Can't get pregnant if it's from a different species.
Unless you're a donkey horse.
This is an
That's a
otter
dorse.
raccoon.
Ooh.
It's actually a mule that close sick.
Before they call it a mule, they call it a dorse.
I realized how stupid it sounded, and then they're like mule.
Yeah, they heard the town idiot go, "Hey, look at that dorse." Change the name.
What else? Oh, in Quill's thing, it actually shows that he has a universal translator implanted in his neck.
Yeah.
Which explains how he can understand. Oh, well, it's odd that he can't understand Groot well, like in this movie, but in the second movie, he's able to understand him. So maybe it just takes a while.
I think it might be because even when like in the kiln when they're going off of Groot, like they don't know what he is. Like they're just like, "What the hell is that?" And they're just like, "Oh, that's like a plant monster." So they don't. I don't think the Nova Corps, like that many people actually know about his species. So it might have been maybe Rocket was like, "Hey, let me fix your universal translator because he can actually understand him, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, hey, say every word, and I'm gonna translate it.
I am Groot.
Hey, don't you dare talk about my dad like that. I was gonna say mother, but I was like, fucking go ahead.
Like, Groot's basically like Space Deadpool. Motherfucker just comes back.
Yeah, but he's got cooler abilities.
It's not the same guy, I'm telling you. It's the wooden ship analogy.
Oh,
You
yeah.
replace every part on a ship. Is it the same ship? I don't think so. It's a brand new ship, different ship.
But technically, they didn't replace every part of Groot. They replaced everything but the stick they stuck in the ground.
Think that was Groot's wiener?
No, it's gay.
What part of him do you think it is?
Phalange.
Oh.
It's currently his spinal column now. I don't know what it was before.
Left breast.
You think they gotta water him? Or do you think he's just okay?
No, obviously they gotta water him. He's still growing. He's a grown boy. I don't understand, like, because he looks fairly tall in that, like the end clip. So how big do you think that is, in inches?
Like when he was in the pot dancing in Draxus?
Yeah.
I'd say that was like 7 or 8 inches, I think.
Because like he looks really tall there, and then as you'll see next week, Jeff, he looks like way shorter in the next movie. But I guess maybe it's because he's not in the pod anymore.
I don't remember much about. I remember he's teenage Groot and he's like fucking angsty. Not really angsty, but just doesn't want to do what he's told. But I don't remember his size at all.
No, Teenage Groot's in Infinity War.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Baby Groot.
My bad. I don't remember that at all.
Hey, who do you think will win a fight, Baby Groot or Baby Yoda?
Baby Yoda, are you fucking ridiculous?
I've never seen the other one, so I'm gonna say Baby Groot.
Okay.
Because I have no idea what he can do.
Let me throw you a scenario. Baby Groot goes for a vine whip. Baby Yoda tears him apart with the Force, then eats his eyes.
Yeah, that's true. He does like that. Yeah,
But what if Baby Groot throws a nectar bomb at him?
Force, push it away. Done.
Yeah, force power is real bullshit.
Yeah, especially if you're like the Yoda clan. I don't know what their species is called. Avocado.
yeah. Just wait till they get all ripe and soft. Then they
That's what
really
happened
fuck
to
you
Yoda.
up.
He just got too soft and sank into his bed.
Yeah. There'll be a reference in the Eternals to the little descriptor scene that when the Collector was describing the Infinity Stones and he showed the Power Stone and the person just fucking up that planet. Pretty sure that was a Celestial.
Is that a movie or a TV show? I forget.
Eternals is going to be a movie.
So it's a TV movie.
No.
A straight to TV movie.
Not, you know, it's just a movie you can watch on your TV.
Well, shit, ain't that convenient?
It is. Welcome to the future. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was gonna say, overall with Drax's like appearance and whatnot, I thought his tattoos and whatnot were all right, and then I had one major problem. Groot stabbed him through the chest to make his fucking lungs not be full of fluid, and then you never saw that mark ever again, even though it was like that day.
Fast heal.
Does he have increased regeneration?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense, but that's never mentioned, so I just assumed he was just buff boy. And
Just
then
flex the hole closed.
yeah.
It also might have been like, because I don't know exactly like how wide his needle finger was. Like maybe it was just a fairly small hole, so it sort of just sorted back together with his muscles. I know he is like heavily nerfed in this movie because in the comics he's supposed to have be like way stronger and have like energy blasts from his fists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which we don't get to see. I think that's shenanigans. I hope they in number 3 he's just like sneezes and blasts a hole in the ship, and they're like, "Have you always been able to do that?"
Yeah, it's really unfortunate how they actually did him pretty dirty comparatively to the comics. Like I don't know if he gets his ass kicked as much in the comics as he does in the Guardians and throughout the MCU, but it's really unfortunate, and it actually kind of pisses Dave Bautista off because he's like my character's just there to be beat, but he's
You should be used to that from wrestling.
yeah.
That's why he got out of wrestling.
Yeah, they got a break in Hollywood to try and not be beat, but he still ends up being beat.
Ooh, I have his powers here, Jeff. Powers and abilities. So he's got the Kylosian physiology. As a Kylosian, Drax possesses superhuman attributes such as his strength and impact-resistant skin. Despite his towering height and broad frame, he is very athletic. Super strength, superhuman durability, superhuman agility, superhuman stamina, superhuman reflexes, as he said in the movie. And a regenerative healing factor. Drax's cells regenerate much faster than most species. During his fight with Ronan, Drax suffered several bruises and cuts on his face. However, when he was removed from the yellow liquid tank, he was completely healed. In particular, Drax's skin cells have a drastically higher regenerative rate than other cells, allowing him to recover from superficial and light wounds faster.
I honestly thought he was gonna get a buff after going in the fucking celestial blood or whatever the spinal fluid, whatever the fuck it was.
The radioactive cum.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna come out and be like, "I am stronger now. I can take on Ronan," and then fight him again.
Just
But,
my bones are so much more dense.
yeah, but then it ended up just not being anything. But maybe that could be like some weird slow release activation, and that's how he gets his fire fist back or something.
Yeah. Also, when he went to go fight Ronan the second time, Ronan was also juiced because of the Power Stone,
Oh yeah.
which is unfortunate. Ronan is, I don't know. I liked his idea. I like the portrayal of the character, for the most part. His that guy's the same guy that plays. Oh, I can't think of his character's name. Basically, the king of the Mirkwood elves in The Hobbit.
Randuin?
Yeah. So same actor in that one, which is you got fucking buff for this one.
Or they put on a lot of padding and used a body double during the paint scene, where they just covered him in another yellow goo for some reason.
Wash
Yeah.
off the blood of his enemies, and then throw on the baby powder.
Yeah, it's space baby powder. That's why it's gold.
Yeah, it's made of literal babies from Sandar,
Yeah.
so he doesn't chafe in his super suit.
The little battery that they got out of that thing, we see in the next movie as well. That rocket needed to so they could escape the kiln.
The Groot one
Yeah,
plucked it out of the wall.
yeah. That battery, the type of battery, is in the next movie, right in the beginning. Harbulary batteries.
Are we sponsored?
I wish. I wish the
by
MCU would
Arbulary
sponsor it.
batteries?
Look, there's 3 viewers, and 2 of them are us. So that means there's
Hell
one
yeah.
more.
It's Marissa.
Yeah, that still counts. We could still give out sponsored information to Marissa. It's easy. All right. I think we actually talked a lot about the actual movie, not a little bit of the effects and stuff like that, and some of the characters. Now it's time for my most hated moment of every podcast. Jeff, let's go through your fucking list.
I really like sentient tree creatures.
All right.
There's a race of them in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I just really like that design for whatever reason. So I really like Groot's design and the way his magic goes. The colony inside of a giant skull is a pretty regular fantasy-esque trope, but it's still fucking cool regardless. Also, when they were getting drunk while waiting for the collector to send the weird pink person, they had like that weird betting game where they like released the little shitters that Star-Lord was kicking, and they had a bigger one, and they were betting on like which ones would get eaten first. It's actually a badass D&D mini game or like mini game in a book or something like that, just for like something to do. I thought that was really cool, so I wrote that down. I kind of said it before, but the faceless guys that Ronan uses, for some reason I really like faceless or eyeless creatures as like enemies and whatnot. I don't
They
know
have
why.
faces.
Well, some of them did, some of them didn't. The ones that were like driving around in the fucking like space fucking motorcycles that were shooting people, some of them didn't have faces. They just had like, it almost looked like just a flat mask over top. Maybe it was just a flat mask. And
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I would have liked that to just have been their face because I really like that design. uh, as usual with every fucking MCU movie, the punching sounds were pretty obnoxious. Although I didn't find them to be as bad in this one. So I don't know if that's like a James Gunn thing, if he told the editors to calm it down or whatever, but I didn't find it to be that bad. Maybe I'm just slowly getting used to it. My brain's turning to cheese or something, but
Yeah.
The cutscenes or cuts were pretty obnoxious in this movie too. They had some shots that were a little longer. I mean, a little longer in MCU during an action scene's about 4 seconds. But yeah, there was a lot of cuts in this one. Like there was one where at the beginning, when Gamora was trying to take the orb from Star Lord, I can't remember
Quill.
Quill, whatever. I'm terrible with names. Okay, you're lucky I remember Star Lord.
I heard you fuck it up earlier, and I said Peter Quill like 9 times to like try and hint to you that it was Quill.
Stick. It does not stick. There was one scene where she like jumped slightly, and there was 6 cuts from the point where she left her feet to when she landed, and I was just like, why? I went back, I paused it, and I counted 6 cuts for a single jump. I don't understand.
She can jump real high, bro.
She's got mad hops.
Jumping.
She got super hops. This is again another like super typical thing in fucking Hollywood, where like the slightest thing explodes into like a giant fireball. But when the major spaceship, the cool like twisty one, crashed at the planet, it obviously made some fireballs and whatnot. But the explosion wasn't anywhere near as big as if you were to take like when they were dogfighting and whatnot. Every time one got like nicked, it just fucking exploded, right? If you were to take that and like scale it up to the size of the big ship, it wasn't anywhere near that big. It looked a lot more realistic, a lot more like debris and whatnot rather than raw explosion. And I really like that because it's just more realistic, right? Yeah. There was 2 things that was it 2 or 1? That was kind of weird for me is the writing on Gamora sometimes. Her character seemed like, I don't know, it was weird. She was an assassin that just like killed people and stole things and like that's everything. But she kept fucking razzing on Quill. I did it for being quote unquote honorless and whatnot, and it just like come across as really really dumb for me. She's just like, you are honorless, Quill. And it's just like, you just killed a bunch of people because your fucking stepdaddy that you don't even like lent you to someone else. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think
So-
it was only.
Sorry, go
I think she only killed like 12 people.
Only 12 people. While trying to steal an artifact so that she can turn on someone else to sell it to the highest bidder for 4 billion credits. And it's pretty dumb for a fucking assassin to call someone else honorless, in my opinion.
No,
And
like
she,
12 people in total. Like not in that scene.
Yeah, I know. She called him a honorless like throughout the movie.
She's a thief. He ain't got no honor. She's not really an assassin. She is known as a killer. But she might follow like a warrior's code of honor or something like that, because she doesn't really ever seem like she never enjoys killing. It's sort of like whatever she has to do to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see where you're coming from, because I mean, she fucking betrayed her, not dad / uncle. I don't know. We'll call it Uncle Ronan.
Uncle Ronan, when she got lent to Uncle Ronan by stepdad fucking... Oh shit, I almost said Thor. What's that guy's name?
Is that even
Thanos?
stepdad though?
Thanos.
I don't think it's stepdad Thanos. I think it's kidnapper.
Yeah, forced stepdad. One thing Jordan mentions, like, cuts and transitions a lot, and I generally don't notice them. But one I did notice in this one was near the beginning when they were being captured by I don't remember what they're called. The people on that fucking planet.
The Nova Corps.
Yeah, those ones. When they were being captured by the Nova Corps, they had them like surrounded and they were being like trapped by those yellow beams, and then it like slowly fades away, and you notice that the like formation they were in and the yellow beams lined up perfectly with like the Nova Corps symbol that was on the side of their building, and then when it refocused, that was like taking the place of the beams and whatnot. I thought that was a pretty good transition, but again, that's something I don't really notice often, but I did notice it that time.
It goes to show you how good it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The yeah. Overall, I did enjoy a lot of the transitions. So I think the more they get into the movies and the farther they go in throughout the MCU, I really find that most of it does just get better and better. It's all is they learn for the most part from the previous films, and then what the not critics but the audience. I don't think they really care about critics, but it's more just the audience that they're trying to please, because Kevin Feige is just so he is the comic book nerd guy. And so to him, he wants to make sure that he's hiring the right people to get everything right. Also want I don't know if I mentioned on last week, but the director of Dune, fuck you, guy. I know you're gonna listen to this podcast, and fuck you, man. I 100% get what he means. Like a lot of it is just cut and paste, but there's still good storytelling, and to me, you can't say anything when you're doing a remake of a movie. Not even like a reboot. He's literally doing a remake. So he is doing cut and paste.
I don't understand this reference.
Me neither.
He basically said that all like most Marvel movies are just cut and paste, and he doesn't understand why people like them.
He's just mad that people like good movies.
Yeah, just like how Martin Scorsese went on and said that they're not real cinema, even though majority of his films are gangster films.
It's because he wanted to be a gangster, and that's why the director of Dune was talking shit, because he wants to make movies, not remake movies. He wants to make his own movies.
Like some of his filmography was good, but his most recent ones are the Dune movie that's coming out, and then Blade Runner 2049. But yeah, I just don't get why. Like, just don't shit on other people's like stuff. Just because it's maybe either doing well and things, like people want to see what they want to see, and I think one of the other directors, he like retweeted one of his old tweets where he's just like, I wish that people in the same craft wouldn't just um not just it's not just a critique, it's like an outright shitting on other people's works just because they don't like what it is.
Yeah, it's sort of the same with politics, where instead of like, just tell me what you're doing and what you want to do, they focus on shitting on everyone else instead of improving their craft. Like if everyone helped each other, they can't do that though, because there's been no competition, right? You need competition because competition breeds capitalism. You know?
Yeah, don't do what's good for everyone.
Fuck that. I want to do what's good for me. Fuck poor people.
I was actually surprised. Usually Jeff's list really pisses me off, but a lot of his lists were things that he likes.
I got one more.
Oh, fuck.
I have a lot harder time finding like flaws in more fantasy-esque movies, because fantasy-esque movies, things just like rules kind of just go out the window, right? Whereas sci-fi thing is very much about the rules, whereas fantasy is like, we're allowed to break the rules because fuck you, it's fantasy. So I have a lot harder time finding flaws in fantasy movies. But one thing I did this, it's a flaw, but it's not like make or break. It's they had a lot of interesting alien styles. Where the fuck did I read it? Designs. That's it. And maybe this is more of a callback to Marvel, the writers of Marvel back in the day and whatnot. Not so much the movie. It's just they had cool alien designs. It's just a real shame that all the like main characters are just colored human. There's no real like difference to them. The most different, and again different in quotations and main in quotations too, character is Gamora's sister, and she's just like slightly part cyborg, right? Everyone else, again, Groot is great, and Rocket's pretty good too, but everyone else is just colored human. Like Ronan's colored human, Gamora's colored human. Most of the fucking people in and around the Nova Corps are just colored human. They showed some cool designs, like the pig people and the I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there was some cool designs. It's just I don't know if it was budget or just old writing and whatnot. I would have liked to see more of that take center stage rather than colored human.
It was actually a scheduling conflict. James Gunn reached out to several different planets, and none of them could make it for filming. So unfortunately, he had to go with humans in costumes.
Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying there. I think there's more, um, a little bit more variety in the second one. For the most part, it definitely shows like different alien races in the second one when we were watching next week. Um,
I
and
mean, one of the characters is a planet or something weird like that, so that's pretty good.
yeah, and then when you see like the different, you can see more in depth into the Ravagers themselves, which I think is really cool. Yondu gets a pretty great character arc in the second one. So I'm excited for the second one.
So he put his troll doll beside his like crystal frog.
I don't know if he's got his little things on there because he just uses them in his when he's out on his regular ship, not the big
Yeah.
one.
Oh, and that one crashed, so maybe he lost all his knickknacks.
Yeah, he lost a good chunk of them except for the little frog. He found that one beside himself.
Oh, did he? Nice. If that was in this movie, I definitely missed that.
Yeah, it was. He picked it up before he killed all the soldiers after his ship crashed.
That's weird. I don't remember that at all.
Too busy staring at the turtles.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think probably one of my favorite. Like there was a lot of comedy-ish moments in this movie, and comedy usually is just whatever for me. It's not why I watch movies. I think one of my favorite lines in this movie though was when Drax was trying to be like sentimental, and then he called Gamora a green whore, and then her sister come up and said something to her, and then Drax is like, "No one talks to my friends that way." Meanwhile, he just called her a green whore. I was just like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's differences. There's whore endearing and whore derogatory.
Zach, you're a whore. I'll let you decide if it's endearing or derogatory.
The answer is yes.
Yep. I'm trying.
No,
No
the
one's
answer's
swiping right.
derogatory.
Sucks a lot of cocks, but I know it makes them happy. So
All right. I guess now we will discover what Jordan actually rated the movie. Unless anyone has anything else they would like to add in before we get to the wrap up.
you better not. I just screamed out my number.
I think your mic crackled while you did. No one
Oh,
heard.
No, I
Nine.
heard it. I heard it.
Oh, I was
Let
right.
me do it again. I'll do it again. Zach,
Alright.
hold your mic down.
My mic's voice activate.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You might have heard it on stream.
I didn't.
Marissa, did you hear it?
No. Oh. She could be asleep.
My throat hurts after doing that. I fucking hope she heard that. Jesus, the neighbors heard it.
What was that race of things you said to keep an eye on because he made a reference to them being on the ship?
Succurrent.
Okay, I found like a list of alien races in Marvel Comics, and Sakurans not even on it, so I don't fucking know. Damn you, Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're a secondary race. There's a lot longer. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know if they're really a race. We'll
Humanoid
find out.
aliens from the planet Sakar. Pink skin. Oh, they're the pink people?
What? Sakarans?
The Sakaran Imperials are pink-skinned humanoids
Imperials. Oh, there must be different races
and
then.
are the dominant culture on Sakar. Red King is a Sakaran Imperial. Then there's Shadow people and Sakaran natives. Oh, Sakaran are bug people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aliases are Paper People from Drax, Ninja Turtle, and
Yeah.
Sakarans.
All right. Why'd you give it a 9, Jordan?
I gave it a 9 because the story I thought was fantastic. The character arcs were very well done. I would have liked a little bit more backstory, but as we know with Marvel, it generally you'll get it later on, for the most part, anyways. The music I thought was really well done. The acting I thought was fantastic. Um, yeah, just it's a very very solid movie. Not enough to say it's perfect, but yeah, 9 out of 10. It's almost there. Just like one more booby flash, it would be a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. There was an ass shot.
There was like 80 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
many ass shots. Wait,
Yeah.
what was the thing that Quill hooked up with? Oscavarian?
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google that real quick while we get our next rating from Jeff.
They're tentacle people. I think I'd give this one probably an 8 if that's what I gave the Avengers. I think I like this one slightly more than the Avengers, but not enough to increase its value any. My biggest flaws with it was I didn't really like Gamora. Her character seemed like she was doing things for the right reasons and all that, but I don't know if it was just her acting or her lines or something. I didn't seem to care about that character at all like I did the other ones. I love Groot, his alien race design, his powers, all that kind of stuff. His only saying "I am Groot" is whatever. That's probably the worst part about him. Uh, and it's not a bad thing. It's how they give the character flavor, which is fine. Rocket's great. Um, Quill is kind of whatever. He's neither here nor there for me. He's just the hero. Drax is the very typical dumb muscle. His character's not very unique or really memorable, other than some of his lines are fine. Yeah, some of the designs of the aliens and the warships were pretty cool. The story was, I mean, pretty good. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything like that, but yeah, I overall I enjoyed it. This is a movie that if I was really bored and stumbled across it, I might actually just put it on to watch it. Yeah, so I think I'd give it an 8.
Ooh. I knew it was gonna get a high rating when the piss off list wasn't as angering. I'm getting it a 8.5. Story's good, characters are great. Plot wise, it was really good. It's pretty a generic story, but the introduction to a lot of the characters um, was good. The music was great. Loved the music of this one and love them throughout the whole thing of the Guardians franchise. Excited for next week when we do Guardians 2. But this one gets an 8.5 from us. 8.5 out of 10, which is a pretty good rating. Is that the biggest one yet? Same as Avengers, 8.5. So we'll be back next week with Guardians 2, which is called Guardians of the
Electric
Galaxy
Boogaloo?
Volume 2. No, there's no electric boogaloo in this one.
There was a
There's
lot of
electricity.
electric boogaloo in the first one.
Yeah, Dance Off Save the Universe,
No, not the dance off, the electric guns.
like Kevin Bacon.
Never seen that movie.
Footloose?
That's an actor.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was also in Tremors. You've probably seen that.
I have seen that, but when I was a child.
Yep. Explains a lot.
I get them sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Bacon's the guy with the like weird chin. Okay. See, he
Yeah.
was in something else I watched. I can't remember what it was though.
But yeah. Join us next week. Twitch.tv/bytherailside if you want to catch it live. If not, the episodes will be uploaded on Sundays. You can find them on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and all those places. Follow us on our socials where we will never post. And yeah, you guys have a great time. Let us know what you thought of the movie. And join us next week. See you guys later.
Gun.
Cut.
And cut.